What if I told you that there's a legend, a story of a lost continent, a whole civilization swallowed by the sea, right there beneath the Indian Ocean? Well, today, we're going to dive deep, and I mean literally, into the mystery of Kumari Kandam. We're going to explore a story of adventure, ancient wisdom, and a secret that has fascinated people for centuries.
Just take a second and picture that. Imagine grand temples, bustling streets, a whole world now totally silent beneath the waves. That is the legend of Kumari Kandam. And today, we're going to explore this incredible myth through the eyes of a young boy who, well, he might have just found a clue to its real location.
You see, our story doesn't start way back in the distant past with ancient kings and queens. Nope, it starts with a boy, living right now, who is about to stumble upon a secret that would change his life forever.
Meets Arjun. He lives in Kanyakumari, right at the southern tip of India. And like a lot of kids his age, Arjun loved mysteries a whole lot more than he loved his homework. He just had no idea he was about to find the biggest mystery of them all. Now, Arjun's partners in crime were, let's just say, a bit unusual. First, you had Minu, a parrot who was obsessed with anything shiny and had a very loud opinion about, well, everything. And then there was Tara, a wise old turtle who claimed to have seen centuries pass. Yeah, most people just thought Tara was a little strange, but Arjun, he knew she was holding on to some ancient secrets. So picture this. The sun is setting, painting the sky all orange and purple, and Arjun's just walking along the shore. The tide was super low, revealing parts of the sand you don't normally get to see. And something was just waiting there for him to find. Okay, this is it. This is the moment where everything changes. A single discovery is about to turn a local legend into a very real and maybe very dangerous quest. His foot just hit something hard and flat in the sand, so he brushed away the wet grains and uncovered this heavy stone tablet, cool to the touch. And it was covered in these symbols he'd never seen before. Spirals, weird-looking fish, and what looked like some kind of ancient map.
Kumari Kandam. It was a name that was whispered in his village for generations. The legend tells of this huge continent, the cradle of Tamil civilization, that was just swallowed by the Indian Ocean. Now, while a lot of people today just dismiss it as a myth, for some, it's a very, very real part of their history.
So while Minu was already squawking about a treasure map and planning how to spend all the gold, Tara's ancient eyes saw something more. With this quiet seriousness, she confirmed Arjun's wildest hope. This wasn't just some old rock. It was a key to a world beneath the waves. With his heart just pounding in his chest, Arjun stared out at the dark ocean. He wasn't even thinking about treasure anymore. He just had to know. Was it true? Was an entire city really down there, just waiting to be found? That was it. The decision was made. So the next morning, fueled by a little more courage than common sense, Arjun plunged into the Indian Ocean. With Tara as his guide, he was about to find out if the legends were actually true.
The whole world just went silent, replaced by the sound of his own breathing. He swam down and down, deeper into the blue. And then, through the murky water, these shapes started to emerge from the seafloor. They were vast, and they were definitely not natural.
The first thing he saw were pillars, massive, carved columns totally encrusted with coral, but you could tell they were man-made. They were rising up from the sand like the bones of some giant creature. And then he saw a road, an actual road, stone slabs laid out in a pattern leading off into the darkness. There were broken statues and the skeletal remains of huge buildings all around him. It was like the ghost of a forgotten world. It was all real. Every whispered story, every legend his grandmother ever told him. A whole city, stretching out as far as he could see, was just sleeping silently at the bottom of the ocean. As Arjun just floated there in pure awe, a shadow shifted behind one of the giant statues, and it was enormous. His heart was hammering against his ribs. He was not alone down here. A giant sea turtle, I'm talking the size of a small car, with a shell that looked like a living reef, emerged from the gloom, and its voice, it wasn't a sound he heard with his ears. It was this deep vibration that boomed through the water and right through his chest. The Guardian, it turns out, revealed the truth of Kumari Kandam.
It was a civilization just like the legend said, a hub of knowledge and culture. But its downfall? Well, it's a classic cautionary tale, isn't it? A story of how greed and a total disrespect for nature can lead to ruin. This part of the legend really resonates with so many ancient stories of great civilizations lost to the sea.
The Guardian explained that it was protecting the city's one remaining treasure. But, as Arjun was about to find out, it wasn't exactly the kind of treasure Minu the parrot had been dreaming about.
The ancient turtle guided Arjun to a small, glowing stone, and when he got back to the surface, completely breathless, Tara translated the simple message carved into it. This was the city's legacy, a simple but incredibly powerful truth.
And this just illustrates the heart of the legend so brilliantly. The people of Kumari Kandam, they lost everything because they were chasing the treasures on the left, gold, power, material riches. But the wisdom they left behind, the real treasure, was everything on the right.
And that's when Arjun finally understood. The treasure wasn't some chest full of jewels. It was the story itself. It was a lesson, a warning, and a piece of history that had almost been lost forever. From that day on, Arjun became the new storyteller, the new guardian of the legend, sharing the tale of the lost city with anyone who would listen.
You know, the legend of Kumari Kandam isn't just about a lost city. It's about the wisdom we might lose if we forget our past. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other lessons are buried in the stories we tell, just waiting there for us to rediscover them?